Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. Okay, so if you haven't seen my previous episodes, Marvel spoiler season is not here, but leak season might be here because we got some leaks coming out. And again, with leaks, take everything I say with a grain of salt. And your players out there, your opponents, might be salty when they play against Wolverine. Best there is, because this is the best there is. I should say, again, if this is, an actual card, which will be confirmed by Wizards, probably never until it actually is spoiled. So make sure you take everything I say with a grain of salt. But if you are interested in this commander and you think it's going to work out and it's going to be real, and I think it's 99.99999% real, the actual image of the card I'll try to remember to put at the end of the episode, then you know what? It's going to be a really exciting one. Make sure you check with your playgroup if they're okay with you just like proxying this ahead of time and maybe picking up some of these cards and building a deck around it, because this is a really fun commander. A 2/2 Mutant Berserker Hero. That perfectly describes Wolverine, right? For 3 mana in Golgari. I just said Golgari. I always make that mistake. Gruul. Why does that happen? I guess they both start with G. Anyways, double all damage Wolverine would deal at the beginning of each end step. If it dealt damage to another creature this turn, put a counter on it. Regenerate Wolverine for 1 innate green. Now, this one is very not flavor over function, I would say, but very flavorful, where Wolverine becomes more powerful the more it fights. Like, Wolverine just gets angry and is like, I'm gonna, punch you. Not really punch you, but I'm gonna stab you with my hand claw things. Anyways, being able to do so, that's awesome. But yeah, regenerating, not the most, powerful, when it comes to, it's a good way to protect it, yes, but it's not nearly as powerful as indestructibility, of course. That being said, like flavor-wise, Wolverine regenerates, not indestructible, really. I mean, kind of, but not really. But being able to focus on, with this commander, the first part, that is huge. Double all damage that Wolverine would deal. That is crucial in how that's worded, because, like, double strike, is really good, but the words on this one are so much better. All damage that Wolverine is going to deal is doubled. That helps out with so many things, and of course, works in tandem with double strike. So being able to say, you know what? Yeah, I've already got double strike on this one with whatever equipment. I'll go through some of the cards to consider for this one, of course. But yeah, being like, oh, okay, cool, you get double strike. And all of a sudden, now you're hitting for as a 2/2. Just as a 2/2, it'd be hitting for 8, right? So you can see how crazy how quickly out of control this can get. Yeah, again, at every single end step, it can gain counters if it's dealing out damage to creatures. That counts blocking, your opponents as well, potentially. That being said, you're going to want to be aggressive with this one. Swing, 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 hit hard. Should regenerate when you need to protect it. But what I would be concentrating on is just getting so much power onto this that your opponent's heads are going to spin and taking them out in absolutely no time at all. Again, this is a Voltron commander player's dream. Again, a protected, low-to-the-ground creature that has so much potential to deal so much damage because of that damage doubling. You're going to absolutely love it. So again, if you are interested in this commander, and many out there are, Wolverine is one of my favorite characters of all time. I love you, Wolverine. But anyways, being able to, also love Hugh Jackman as well. Hi, Hugh. But yeah, being able to just get this suited up with so much power and hitting in absolutely no time at all to take your opponents out. Yeah, you can very easily one-shot a lot of players out there super quickly. So if you are interested in this one, check out that card list link in the description below. Again, talk to your playgroup first, because again, this is not confirmed to be an actual spoiler. It is a leak. But again, if you see the actual images, you're like, yeah, that looks very legitimate. And most of the leaks that we've had over the years have been legitimate. There have been very, very few times that's like, oh yeah, it looks real. Oh, that wasn't real. Weird. Yeah, most of these are very, very, very real. So if I had to lean one way or the other, I'd say it's real. Regardless, let's jump into the cards. And again, if you're interested, check out that card list link. Okay, first up, Belt of Giant Strength. Now, this is one that's kind of like further down the road of just getting crazy with this commander, but still, equipment 4, 2 mana in green. Gives the equipped creature base power and toughness 10/10, equip 10, but it costs X less to cast, where X is the power of the creature targets. So yeah, costing 8 is not all that great to equip either. That being said, the more power you get on your commander, the heavier your commander is going to be hitting. So being able to, again, turn your 2/2 into a 10/10 is huge. Again, just even with this equipped to your commander and literally nothing else, all of a sudden your commander is hitting for 20 on hit, and that doesn't include like a double strike card or anything like that. So yeah, you do need to work a little bit to get this one actually equipped, but still, once you do, that is huge. Blackblade Forge, +1 for each land you control. You are in green, of course. Very simple, very effective, very amazing with this kind of a commander. Again, basically every additional land you get into play, which you can get a lot into play, you're in green, is going to count for essentially 2 power for you since, you know, it doubles up damage. Speaking of that, Inquisitor's Flail, kind of like the perfect commander for this. Quick creature deal combat damage deals double that damage instead. It also, you know, whenever quick creature is, you know, dealt damage by another creature, that damage is also doubled too. That's okay. Wolverine don't care. You got ways to give indestructibility as well. But yeah, being able to, again, say, you know, okay, that doubles, and that doubles again. That is massive. That is huge. That just, again, makes it so that any additional power you are granting just counts for twice as much, 4 times as much. Again, if you literally have that Belt of Giant Strength on your commander, plus the Flail, your commander is hitting for 40. My goodness, you're just steamrolling past the 21 commander damage that you need to take players out. Unleash Fury, of course, you've got ways to double up power in both red and green too. So yeah, double the power target creature until end of turn. Again, if you have, you know, other ways to pump, Blackblade Forge, Belt of Giant Strength, those kind of things, you can just take so much advantage of that. And again, taking advantage of your commanders doubling damage. Fire Shrieker, again, I already mentioned this, very simple, very effective. Double strike is huge for this commander because, again, your commander already doubles damage. Now you're doubling it again. So basically every point of damage that you're granting is, you know, ×4 kind of. So yeah, make sure you're increasing power and then also taking advantage of double strike and other damage doublers. Berserker's Onslaught, a great way to double up your team's attacks. Tag creatures control of double strike. Be able to protect your commander in combat as well. Again, with that first strike hit, keep that in mind as well, because it's going to take out probably about anything that blocks it. And again, when it does get blocked, it gets even more powerful, which is huge. But also being able to be like, oh, okay, cool, yeah, I'm gonna just take everything out. So there you go. Goodbye. Gratuitous Violence, any kind of a damage doubler, damage tripler, of course, can help as well. Just a broad one. If a creature control deal damage to a permanent or player, double that damage to that permanent player instead. That is huge. Again, you can just set yourself up so that literally the second your commander comes down, it's like, oh, it's a one-shot KO again. Uh-oh. We're all in big trouble. Unnatural Growth. This one nearly was within my budget at one point. No longer, but still decently budget-friendly for many players out there, around $2. This one is an enchantment for 5 mana in total. Beginning of each combat, double the power and types of each creature control until end of turn. Again, the more ways you have to pump your commander's power, the more beneficial this becomes, and the more beneficial your commander's damage doubling is. Raised by Giants. Another great one, kind of like Belt of Giant Strength. Legendary enchantment background for 6 mana in green. Commander creatures you own have base power toughness 10, 10, or giants or other types. That is huge. I mean, not canonical, although I'm sure there's someone out there who's a huge Marvel fan that could tell me that one time that Wolverine was, you know, enlarged by a giant enlargement ray, and now it was a huge Wolverine, and then, yeah, taking over the world. I don't know. Anyways, although that might be, you know, not flavorful in that way, it is just incredibly flavorful in that Wolverine is an unstoppable force. Again, being a 10-10 instead of a 2-2 is a huge difference. Keep in mind that all those counters it's going to be getting on it, any other pump effects as well, are going to really come in handy as well. So yeah, just get something that gives trample. Maybe, you know, get something that gives lifelink and trample, like Locks and Warhammer, swing through and take your opponents out. Hardened Scales, of course, if you are going to be leaning into like the counters approach as well with this one, this can of course really help. If one or more counters are placed on creature control, that many +1 are placed on it instead. So again, getting 2 counters instead of 1, that's huge. Speaking of huge, Hydra's Growth. Enters, get a counter on enchant creature. Beginning of your upkeep, doubling the number of counters on it. So again, more doubling. What's not to love about that? If that can stay on your commander for a while, it's really going to help. Rising on the Day, creature control have haste, ledger creature control get +1/+0. That is huge. Being again to swing with your commander right away, that can be massive. I mean, early on, you do want to get your commander out early and just start swinging, yes, right? But also later in the game, if your commander does get dealt with, you're like, oh, okay, that's fine. I have all these other things in play that like pump my commander, double things up, double damage, whatever it is, so that when my commander comes right back out, I swing and I demolish everyone. And again, legendary creatures get +1/+0. That again is doubled up thanks to your commander as well. So keep that in mind. I mean, doubled up just for your commander really when it comes to damage. Basilisk Collar. A great card to consider. Death Touch and Lifelink. And give your commander Death Touch can be huge if you give it Trample as well. Just be able to get through with all that damage on players. Lifelink, you're going to be gaining an absurd amount of life with this. Locks and Warhammer, already mentioned this one. +3/+0, Trample and Lifelink. All very relevant things. Again, increase that power. Just with this on your commander is going to be hitting for 10. Gaining 10 life, getting damage through. What's not to love about that? Grappling Hook, if you want to force some blocks, this is a great one. Double Strike, of course, that is huge with this. But yeah, being able to, when you attack, make target creature block. Cool. Take things out. Also get extra counters on your commander as well. Moving on, how about some pricey cards to consider? Berserk, yeah, this is a great out of nowhere, hey, I finished off the game kind of a card, or at least finished off one opponent. Cast it only before the combat damage step. So cool. All right, anyways, that's fine. We can cast it then. Instant speed for a single green mana. Target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0 until end of turn where exits power. Beginning of the next end step, destroy that creature if it attacked this turn. Here's the thing. Yeah, destroy it. Cool. We can regenerate it, so that's great. So again, plays into being able to protect our commander, even though this is like a one-shot dream kind of card where it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go all in with this. So again, end of the game doesn't matter. Be like, okay, cool, I'll lose my commander, but it's gonna hit for 40 and you're gone, surprisingly out of nowhere with trample, where your opponent was like, I thought I was safe, no I'm not, and then they're gone. But yeah, being able to save your commander anyways from it, that can be massive. Next up, Blade of the Bloodchief. Again, if you are going into counters, you can kind of, play with counters a little bit. You can go further into them. You can just ignore it completely, whatever you want to do with it. Equipment for 1, whenever a creature dies, I should say, get a counter equipped creature. Don't worry, Wolverine's not a vampire. If it was, it would get an extra counter, but sure, maybe you have other ways to make it a vampire. I don't know why. Regardless, being able to get counters on it every single time any creature on the battlefield dies, that's going to be a lot throughout the game. And again, keep in mind, every single one of those counters kind of counts as 2 in a way, because again, now that damage doubling. Next up, Nemesis Mask. Again, if you are going heavy into that, let's get counters on this commander. Let's give it indestructible or whatnot. Let's make sure I'm just building its power a ton throughout the game with this. All creatures able to block, equipped creature do so. That is massive. That is huge. That is a great way to say, you know what? Wolverine's coming through. I'm wiping out your army. I'm getting a lot of counters on it. Cool. Now I can either take you out or go wipe out that other player's army at the next one. And of course, keep in mind if you've got additional combats, which are decently expensive these days, thanks to Ishin. Boo. I mean, not boo Ishin, but boo that they're all expensive. Yeah, if you're able to swing again, you can just wipe out all the armies, get a ton of counters on Wolverine, and have so much fun. Speaking of that, Chandra's Ignition. Sorcery for 5 mana in total. Target creature control deals damage equal to its power to each other creature and each opponent. Being able to wipe out everything else on the board is quite easy with Wolverine because, again, its damage is doubling. And target creature control deals damage. It's not Chandra's Ignition itself that deals the damage. It is Wolverine that deals it, so that damage is doubled. So again, increase that power through a variety of ways that I've talked about, and then utilize this, wipe out the board. Yeah, there's a lot of spicy things that you can do with this commander. Again, if you are interested in it, talk to your playgroup first, maybe proxy it if they're okay with it, and then, pick up some of these cards that work really well with it. There you go. And with that, this episode is coming to a close. Make sure you comment below with your thoughts on this one, and of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.